Let's talk about maximizing student potential. How do facilitators encourage students to go deeper, participate fully, and do their best work? In this section, we'll address the implications of diverse learning styles. We'll also begin exploring levels of learning, from simple comprehension, as evidenced by the ability to memorize and recall, to critical thinking, as evidenced by the ability to analyze and synthesize and do original work. Now let's cover learning styles. If you consider your own learning experiences, you may find that you learn better in some settings than others, that you might be more engaged and motivated by some subjects than others, or that you are more effective and comfortable with some parts of the learning process than others. You may like certain teaching styles and dislike others. You may find that you need the big picture before you can dive into the details of a subject, or that you need the details as building blocks to understand the big picture. You may have your own idiosyncratic way of organizing yourself to learn. We frequently hear people describe themselves as visual learners or experimental learners. These are all learning styles. Our strengths and preferences characterize our particular learning style. No one style is better than another. One student's inability to comprehend a subject may be simply due to a presentation style that speaks to a learner's weaknesses rather than strengths. It's important that facilitators know that there are many ways to interact with students to leverage their strengths and foster learning. This may require presenting the same concept in a new way or simply providing tips to improve learning and studying deficiencies. How do facilitators learn about students' learning styles? They might add a discussion question to provide a forum for sharing their learning style and asking students to reflect on how they learn. Students will learn as much about themselves and each other as a facilitator will learn about them. Understanding your own strengths and limitations as a learner will give you insight into how you can support the various learning styles and preferences of other learners. Let's discuss levels of learning. Due to the time compression nature of many online programs, facilitators need to be mindful that students, at times, require prompting to move from knowledge to comprehension to application, from lower levels to higher levels of learning. While comprehension and application may be appropriate in foundational courses, upper-level courses are expected to also generate opportunities for analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Think about the differences in rote memorization versus critical thinking in assignments and discussions, and how learners can be directed and stimulated to think in different ways. Can you commit something to your memory without using rote memorization? Let's prepare your students. There are also some practical ways you can get your students ready to learn so that they can do their very best. Remember, it's important to maximize their potential as much as possible before they begin your class. You can make sure your students are familiar with the learning environment before they start. You can set up a general discussion board before the course begins for commonly asked questions and technical help. You can encourage your students to have a dictionary handy while going through online or other written material, as they will inevitably run into terms they probably won't know. See that they've downloaded a dictionary on their iPad. Now look at all the instructional tools available for you to use to get the students to move from knowledge to application. Not only guest speakers, CDs, magazines, case analysis, and team projects, add videos, websites, blogs, and field trips that all should be in your tool belt to use for a variety of deliverables that impact their learning.